afternoon, everybody. Kurt Capra here with your daily recap for this Friday, July 21st. Hope you guys had a great trading day here. And overall, as expected, it was a pretty quiet session. The S&P closing down, marginally, and overall holding the upper support areas here, staying above the 8-day moving average. So in a sense, it was still a victory here, and this week has set up next week well for a continued push higher here ahead of the FOMC announcement next week. So still a lot that the market's going to have to digest. There's still a lot of earnings coming up next week as well, even after the FOMC. There's a big day on Thursday with regard to earnings, so we'll see how that all plays out here in the market. But overall, really kind of a digestion week overall from where we opened to where we closed. There wasn't a whole lot of change here in the S&P, although we did close up for the week, so that is a positive to take away. Looking at the Qs, same thing here. From where we opened to where we closed, we are higher and also right up into this prior high. So that's very positive, and we're holding up here as well, as opposed to getting this heavy amount of supply coming in. So as I said, very positive overall developments here. The Russell also broke out over the top of the range, although it really just poked above it before pulling back in here a bit today. But this still looks set up well for additional follow-through higher here next week. We pulled back into the 8-day, and you got a little bit of a bounce off that level, so buyers stepping up there, which is a positive sign. As far as what's gone on here today and this week, we can take a look here at IBB, which has continued to push its way higher this week, adding to the gains from earlier and also pushing above this prior high and closing above it for that matter. So this looks ready to push additionally to the upside here this coming week, and we may even see this pushing up towards the 340 level if things really start to gain some momentum. So definitely watch IBB here for additional follow through higher up towards that 340 level, where you've got some resistance off to the left on the longer time frames. In fact, let me just go ahead and show you that here. There it is. You've got this area of resistance off to the left, little open gap as well. So 340 is a good spot to look for this to rally up into as we move forward. In other areas, you got the transportation index here having pulled back. There was some weak earnings from the airlines. FedEx also with the news last week about their guidance, given the impacts of the hack that took place a little while back. So in any case, it's been a bit of a rough week here for the transportation index. However, this has, in my opinion, set up some opportunity where you've got this pullback now into support. I'll be looking for this to turn and begin moving higher here once again, retesting that 175.50 level and then even through it. So that's something I'll be keeping an eye on here as we move forward. And then, of course, you got financials. You can't not talk about these financials, especially with the FOMC this coming week. And quite frankly, they really didn't do much of anything here this week. XLF really just sideways in this tight range as it gets squeezed between the 8 and 21-day moving averages. But I think this is setting up for what will be some breakout or breakdown. We'll see how it plays out from this range with the FOMC decision. If I had to guess, I'd say up based on the trend. But again, we'll see how it all plays out. Financials overall have just been, as I said, kind of sideways, neutral overall. And also energy. Right? Energy was down once again here today, as oil was also weak, but this is staying, in line with this downtrend. It did poke above it, but came back down below it here. You got a little bit of support, so we'll see where it goes from here. There are some signs that this is trying to bottom, as in this move to a new low that then popped right back up. So that does indicate buyers are trying to hold this here. The fact that it was able to rally up and poke above prior resistance confirms that. But again, we've had some weakness here to end things off. We'll see if that spills over into next week or if buyers can turn this around. Speaking of oil, as I said, it was down here again today after yesterday. So we'll see how this one trades in the beginning part of next week. Really just going to keep an eye on it, not looking to do much with it. Gold also up, so we'll keep an eye on this one. It's got some resistance off to the left, but really strong push higher, so this may be getting ready to add to the gains here from this week. And then real quick, also just want to highlight the weakness in the dollar. I actually posted a video on the dollar specifically, so you can go ahead and check that out. It's posted up on the YouTube channel there, as well as our blog, t3live.com/blog. You can check it out there as well. So overall, dollar's weak. I think it's headed down to 24, and quite frankly, and you can check out again the video, I think it may be even headed over the course of this year, the second half of this year, headed down to test the lows from around 2011. So definitely check out that video for more on that. But as I said, hope you guys had a great week. Hope you have an even better weekend, and we will talk to you next week.